Hello everyone and welcome back to another exciting patch for Wano, as the 11th Cavalry Regiment finally has been added to multiplayer, as well as we already had an operation with this formation. Obviously one of the most famous formations of the Cold War, the 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment at the Fulda Gap, and they have quite a couple of interesting toys. But before we jump in, a real quick shout out to the Friday night Wano tournament that will happen this Friday, and you can still sign up for it if you want to test out the new toys in action and you want to be able to beat a Eugen developer and me at the same time. Sign up. It's a 2v2 tournament, 3 rounds, 8 teams to sign up, classic single elimination, just a bit of fun in 2v2 format. And yeah, obviously you can sign up with the new divisions as well, and we will go over the 119th Tank Regiment in another video linked up atop now. And yeah, let's jump here into the 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment, and let's have a look on what is all in this lovely division. First of all, supply tab, already pretty nice. You get some Unimog German supplies, you get some Black Hawk supplies, and you get some UH supplies as well. With 3000 supplies, these are really nice. CVs also plentiful, Iltis, M577, some Humvees, and some UH, so a decent mix here as well. Field supply points is here as well, sadly still not really represented in the armory. And then infantry, your choices are a bit limited, and as you can see, infantry tab here is one of the smallest in the game, similar for 119th. Both of these divisions clear cut into not being an infantry formation. Your choices here are still decent though. You have Panzer Grenadiers and Panzer Grenadier Führers. You can get them in Martyrs. Those are your IFVs in this deck that you can get. Heimatschützen, if you want to have some cheap spam infantry. Some 50 cults. Some engineers and engineer flashes, which can come in M113 A3s. Some engineered dragons, only with dragon ones. That's your ATGM on the infantry. And anti-tank weapons in general relatively limited here. The Panzer Grenadiers obviously only Panzerfaust 44s. And here you only have the dragon ones. Arrow rifles with laws, mech rifles with laws, no dragon version. Here you at least get the M113 A3 with dragon if you want some as well. And then your only team with some better AT options are the dismounted troopers, which are cool in general because they also have the security trait. Pretty strong unit here, 84 really strong, 3 M249s, so you have good firepower, but obviously the strength of these is rather low. And yeah, they're pretty decent. And then you have some Milan 2s as your ATGMs. No toes in this deck, but at least some Milan 2s. And so you have some long-range AT firepower. But obviously with only 5 slots, putting in the Milan 2 is relatively tough, as you will need the slots for infantry themselves. Artillery, you have some okay options here. Panzer Mörser, M109s, M109s in German and American versions. And yeah, Panzer Mörser and American self-propelled mortars. Choices here relatively limited, really expensive as well. But in the tank tab, you have a lot of slots. Choices here also somewhat limited. 1 Cav, 1 Jaguar, but then you get a lot of M1A1s and M1A1 CPs, the most which are absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, you really need those tanks here to survive with this deck and to get the action onto the enemy. Recon tab, you get some LRS. Those are taken out of 3rd US Armored, nerfed there, which is absolutely welcome, given to these guys, which obviously deserve good recon units. Recon tab in general, one of the strongest. And you have a new unit here, the M1A1 ACAV, the first main battle line recon tank, and the first MBT here that can be forward deployed. It only has bad stealth and good optics, so it's not as sneaky as an MX-10 RC, no worries there. It's also obviously only mediocre in speed, so this thing won't be as obnoxious in sniping your transports as, for example, the MX-10, but it can spot enemy dangers towards your tanks quite nicely. So having this inside of your other tanks as the recon whilst you push in is really nice. So that is its purpose. The other options here are nice as well. You get some Bradley CFVs, you get some Kiovas, and you get some Green Archers. BGS, one of my favorite units as well. Sadly not in helicopters in this deck, but still pretty decent. The AGL is mediocre, but you get some decent options here. AA, you have okayish options as well. Fliegerfausts are okay for their price. Stinger is obviously quite nice as well. Pretty good medpad. Pivot does its job. It's stunning helicopters and killing slow-flying planes. And then the iHawk is your one long-range option. You don't have too many slots here once more, and your iHawk is also relatively limited in numbers, but you have decent enough stuff to keep you somewhat safe. It's not the best tab in the deck, but it is somewhat fine. And then we come to another tab where you have a new unit. You have normal Cobra and Tow Cobra here. Pretty decent helicopters. But then you also have the next level. You have not just the normal Tow Cobra, you have a H1F Sea Knight with better sights and with Tow 2. Ground to, or air to ground missile in this regard, I guess. As the Tow 2 obviously really capable, and having some Cobras with those kind of missiles really gives you an extra punch against enemy armor. With this, can one-hit a lot more things than the ITO can, obviously. So having Tow 2's airborne here, really nice. Also, the skin of this thing, absolutely gorgeous. Really good job by the Eugen design team there. And then AirTap is all about the A-10s and the F-16s. You have 5 different versions of the F-16. Seed, AA, Cluster, AT, LGB. Only the Napalm version is not here, basically. And then you have A-10s in all their configurations as well. Decent amount of slots here. F-16 at the moment still a bit underperforming. I hope we will get some improvements on these things, but it's still a decent fighter, and the attack versions are all quite dope. So, yeah, a really solid deck here. I really love to have it here. And, yeah, a good addition in a pretty massive patch in general. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy them as much as I do. And you're gonna see them in action in an upcoming video where we'll play against Mr. Saucy Network, or Bolt Sauce. And I hope to see you all there as well. And, yeah, see you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye, and have a great day.